Hi again, my name is Hussein Al-Falakawi from SUB10 System, and welcome to this webinar. I know afternoon time, your time. Today we're going to discuss how to do the RepeatIt RCS installation, and this is part of the SUB10 Summer University webinars that we're doing this coming month and the next month, I believe. So today, I don't think the webinar will take that long. It's a very nice short webinar, and I hope you can enjoy it. And if you guys have any questions, you can just text me, and we will answer you either on the spot or by the end of the session. Okay. So first, I'm going to talk about SUB10 System. We are a private health company based in Newton Abbot in Devon, United Kingdom. And you can see the building on the left-hand side, the top picture. We are mainly focused on the development and sales of the 60 and 70, 80 gigahertz millimeter wave product, which is, they call it the V band and the E band. In mid of 2011, we took over Hooper and Sooner business portfolio on the wireless, on the V band, and from there we started our technology, our system. We're also offering a complementary solution for the wireless system and other bands to support our partners, and also to complete our wireless portfolio. Because the some clients are asking for 5 gigahertz, and we are mainly on the high frequency range. So that's why we gathered to have many solutions for all of our clients. In January 2012, we signed a worldwide distribution contract with RepeatIt. And RepeatIt are the company that we're missing, the 5 gigahertz, and in this case we completely have the full cloud of products. And in September 2012, 60 gigahertz technology, Alcatel-Lucent added our 60 gigahertz technology as part of their radio transmission portfolio to complete their product line, and in this case they are selling our product, part of their business system. And about RepeatIt, so RepeatIt are a supplier of the 5 gigahertz equipment. They are located in Stockholm, Sweden. They are all developing and manufacturing of the 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz. They are in business for 12 years, and of course they've tested their product in various weather environments, starting from the hot desert all the way to the freezing Arctic conditions. And they are focused in a carrier-based fixed wireless access points, especially for the point-to-point and point-to-multipoint system using the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz band. And SUB10 System is a worldwide master distributor and solution partner with RepeatIt. In today's webinar, the objective of today's webinar is mainly to discuss RepeatIt management tool options, RCS basic versus professional version, RCS latest software versions and its components, new features on RCS version 2.9, RCS hardware and software requirements, and how to install RCS. And then we go with question and answers, if you guys have any questions. Hopefully it should not be any problem. So in terms of product RepeatIt management tool options, any of the RepeatIt product can be managed via this type of options. One of them is the web page that you can log into the web page of that radio, and you can do some basic configuration, unit setup. It has a built-in tool such as spectrum analyzer, speed test, so you can do all of your basic configuration, managing the unit via the web interface. The other option is to use the cloud. And the cloud is it has a richer features. It is free. You're monitoring and configuring the Trinity links. You can do some traffic and radio statistics. You can do a firmware upgrade. And the beauty it is you can add certain users and remove certain users in terms of troubleshooting. If you need to troubleshoot the link and you need an expert view, so you can add them to the cloud and then you can remove them later on. So it is a very nice, cool feature. The other option is to use the RCS, and the RCS is mainly the beauty about it. It's a server that you're gonna have in your office. You can do a full configuration to the product. It has a multiple user profile, so you can create many profiles that you want, including authentication, SLA, statistics, performance data. You can create a firewall, rule sets in terms of multiple SSIDs, and this is mainly for the point-to-multipoint. So it has a much better control over the radio by using this product. And of course, the last option is to use an SNMP to manage the radio. So you can use an external SNMP to manage the radio. So the basic difference, or the difference between the RCS Basic and Professional, you have to know exactly which version you need. If you are running into a small networks, you're not looking for a heavy configuration, basically just a small cloud. You need to just check the connectivity and everything. You can go with the RCS Basics. It's meant for small networks, basic monitoring capabilities, and of course it's a freeware. You can download this for free from RepeatIt website. If you are running into a larger networks and you need a complete control of your product, then better to go with the RCS Professional. And the difference between them is just a license key. So as soon as you do the whole installation for the RCS, you're already in the basic mode, and as soon as you request the license key, then you are in a professional version. And of course, you can have the full features of that, of course. The RCS latest software and its components. So the latest software currently is the version 2.9. In terms of components, we are running RCS version 2.9, so it is a Linux based. So RCS Linux install 2.9. In terms of operating system, RepeatIt recommend Ubuntu. So I use Ubuntu 13.04, and this is the recommendation. You have to have a certain software version of Java, and the Java that it works properly with the system is GRE6U35. And of course, when you do the installation, you have to install MySQL Server as well. So it is, in order to run the RCS, it is a software specific. So doing an upgrade, it might affect the performance or the software functionality. So RepeatIt always recommended certain versions, not to go beyond that, because it will be a little bit harder for them to troubleshoot. So that's why we're trying to stick with certain software versions. The RCS New Features and the 2.9. So this is it came up late, or I think last June 2013. So just a fresh, brand new version. It has a very nice feature. So one of the features that they did is they took the alert and they added as a new tab into their web page, or into the page itself, the RCS page. In terms of RCS view, they made the network to be in the top level. So everything related to the network. So you start with your network IDs, and you can choose whatever network you're going to go to. And there is, of course, a refresh button always on the top of the window. The other nice, cool features for the professional only is the map view. So in this case, they presented all of their radios into a Google map. You can look at the radio. You can do some navigation. It has a cool icons. You can it has a very rich graphical interface. So in this case, you will, by just looking at it, you will know that if that radio is part of that certain sector or not. You can play with the radius of the sector, how far it can go. So it's a very nice presentation, and I will show you some clips as well. And you can also play with the azimuth of the antenna, what type of antenna, so you can know exactly a nice coverage area for it. Let me show you. Looks 1 second. So this is how it looks when you go to the map view. Number one, you will see that in the last tab is the alert tab, and that's what I mentioned, that this is a new feature. So instead of going to every radio, you can just click on alerts, and you can see all the alerts on all of your system that part of this RCS. So the new features on the left, you will see that this is all we can call it the super network. So think of it as a region area, and in this case you will see that for over here the example of 1, 2, 3, 4. So this, all of the 4 highlighted location has a 4 highlighted coverage areas. So in this case, you will know that we are covering that certain area, and the radius of this coverage depends on how many base stations in that radius. So if you have multiple base stations, that it covers a bigger region. So when you put them under one big network, you'll see that circle or that range is getting even bigger. So this in terms of coverage, you will know that in terms of coverage. What's the coverage range for it? When you go one step down, so what we did over here is we went to start, which is the main one, and then we went to SWS GOSIO. So we went one step in, and over there you will see, in terms of that certain location, you will see the coverage area for every sector in that location. So in that location you will have 1, 2, 3. Actually, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 base stations, and you will see the coverage of each one of them in this type of format. So over here you can control the depth or how far it can reach by going to every base station, and it will say my radius or my coverage area will be certain distance. And you can also control the width. So you will say I'm using a 45 degrees or a 90 degree, or so whatever antenna pattern that you're putting, you can specify it. And also the direction. So this is like almost east, a little bit to the north side of the of that certain position. So you can put it south, and depends on your orientation. The next slide is so we went one step even further. So from SWS GOSIOs, we went to northwest underscore west. So in this case, you will see that this is a single base stations with 2 sectors, and you will see the coverage area including the client. So this is a client presentation of where are they located in that certain location. And of course you have this is of course the client list for that certain location. So it's a very nice presentation. This is, we went also a little bit deeper, so we went zoom in, and from there you will see that all of the green one are the connected client, and the red one is a client that's not been connected. So either to turn off the switch off their CPU or something. And the beauty is you have to adjust it for the first time. So in this case, for example, you will see that the bottom 2 lines are green. I don't know about the last one, but there is 2 clients already connected to the patient, to the left hand side. And of course you can adjust the direction of the antenna. If you know that these clients having a very good nice SNR information, then you can adjust the direction of that antenna, and you know that they are connected perfectly. So you know that you can adjust the azimuth of the antenna, and you shift it a little bit to the left to cover these two clients. And if you know that these clients are barely connected, so this is the right presentation to it, then you can keep it as it is. So it's for your own convenience, and you will know exactly where is your borderline, and is it necessary to put another base station or not. Of course, today's subject is not to discuss 2.9 in terms of features, but to go with the RCS. I've just showed you the presentation of that new 2.9 software. So what's the RCS hardware and software requirements? By RepeatIt's website, so the minimum hardware requirement for a small network, which consists of 10 to 20 base stations with 50 to 100 clients, is a CPU of Pentium for 1 gigahertz, RAM of 1 gigabyte, hard disk of 2 gigabytes, and a VGA card of 1280 to 1024 resolution or higher, because you need to have a very good output presentation of the of your RCS in terms of graphical. In terms of RCS software requirement, they used to have it in a Windows based, but they had some trouble with keeping the support on that, and they had some issues. So the best option is the Linux. So they're good with the Linux, and they stayed with the Linux. So it is a Linux. You can run the Linux on an AMD or Intel. And in terms of operating system, they are using Ubuntu as their suggested operating system. They are using MySQL as their database server. They are using Java version 2. I think this is the version 1.6. So Java 2 platform version 1.6. And of course, their software comes, or the overall comes with an Apache Tomcat, so you can broadcast, or you can view that RCS in your network. In terms of a port requirement, you have to have certain port to be enabled. For the RCS, it requires port 9999 or 9998. In terms of logging into the RCS, you have to have port 80, port 443, and port 500 to be enabled. So if you have a firewall, enable all of these ports so you can either locally log into the system, or even if you have it in the intranet or in the internet, so you can enable the certain ports for connectivity. This is an RCS network topology, so mainly you can have the RCS in your local network. So in this case, you'll have multiple radios connected to a switch, and then this is the user who can connect to the RCS server. Or you can have it in one step higher. Let's say, for example, you have a bridge network, layer 2 or layer 3, and in the other locations, so this is maybe a point-to-point connection, and from the other side you connect it to a switch, and you will have multiple radios as well, and then you can cascade that to multiple locations. Or if it's through the internet, so in this case, this considered as a router and router/firewall. You can block certain ports and enable certain ports. So it depends on your network topology. But usually you will have to have one RCS server connected to your local network, and from there you will add every location. You have to enable certain port and just enable it to be accessed via the RCS system. Let's see next. So this is the nice part, is how to install the RCS, and this is my main focus. It's a few slides. You would like it. First, you have to download the Ubuntu, which is the operating system, and this is what's been recommended by RepeatIt. As soon as you do the installation, you have to run a terminal command to create a root password, and of course the command is sudo password root. And when you do it, you have to put the first password that you specified the first time when you built up the system, and then you will create one password, and you repeat it again. You type it again, and from there it says password updated successfully. In order to log into as a super user, then you just put SU, and then it will ask you to put the password, and you will see that as soon as you're getting the pound sign at the end, you are connected as the super user. And the idea of doing that is that whenever you do a certain command, either you do a sudo on every command that you do, or you be a super user, do all of the configuration or the command, and in this case you don't have to worry about it. So that's why better to start it with this command. So as soon as you do that, the next step is to do the MySQL download and installation. And of course, to do that, you already, as you see the £, so you're already as a super user. So you put apt-get install MySQL server. And when you do that, of course, while you're doing the installation, it will ask you, and of course, it will download the first time and then it will do the installation. And while you're doing the installation, it will ask you for a new password. So you have to remember that password. That is the MySQL root password. And it will ask you again, you will need that password to finish up your configuration. So you will put that password again, and you will continue with the installation. And done for that SQL. And now you have to do a download and install of the Java. The Java that we are running, it is the GRE6U35-Linux. And in order to get it, you have to go to the Oracle website and you download it from there. Sometimes, I know in my case, I had to create a free account with them just to log in at the end and put my credential in order to download it. So it is free, you can do it right away. So when you go to Oracle website, just type in that version that you need, and it will give you a link to where to get that information. And from there, just follow the steps to download it. So let's say you download that Java. What you have to do is you have to move that Java from wherever you downloaded. So it could be download page in my case, and you move it to home SUB10 or home / whatever the your main folder that you have. So in my case it's SUB10, so I moved it to main SUB10, and from there I created a permission to run this software, and then I run that version of software. And of course, as soon as you run that software, it will create a folder called GRE 1.6.0_35, and that's the folder that you have to worry about. I think that's the main key folder that you need to know. And what you have to do next is you have to move that folder from the existing home location to OPT, and you move that folder to that set location under OPT. We're done from this area. Then you do the download and RCS installation, and it is the simplest, of course. So what you have to do is you have to go to RepeatIt website, and you type in the command wget http www.repeatit.se pub RCS Linux install. So when you specify the last, I believe, over here, the previous version was 2.85.0, and this is the latest one. So as soon as you type it in, then you will download it from their website. You have to extract that software by using the tar command, and you're done until that point. And we're going to use, again, we have to fetch that file at the end. And then you have to download MySQL connector. And of course, in order to get that SQL connector, you have to go to the browser and of course download it from there. So I did my Google search, and I found it that you can get it from this website. And as soon as you download it, you extract that file. That's usually a compressed file. So you extract that file and you put it to the directory. So so far I put it in the desktop directory. And then to continue your RCS installation, you go to the install script folder, and then you type in export Java home, and you specify the directory of the GRE 1.6 that we fetched from the previously. And then this is the tricky part. So over here you run the script, and you are using the password, and this password is the SQL root password that you created. In my case, I put the password 890, So pass 890 as my password. But in your case, whatever password you put when you did the SQL root password, you use that. And it will take some time, and it should not take that long to do the installation. And when you are not getting, if everything works fine, you are not getting any errors, I think everything seems perfectly good. What you have to do in your final step is to run the software and run the Apache, or run the server, the internet server. So in this case, you have to do RCS kernel start, so /RCS kernel start, and /RCS Tomcat start. So this is for the Apache. And of course, as soon as you do that, you will get into it says starting repeated RCS radio control software kernel, which means that everything seems okay. Otherwise, you should get some errors. And the same thing when you run the Tomcat start. If you're getting something like this or similar, then you're okay. If you are getting some errors or other messages, then there's a problem, and you have to check what did you do in your installation. So something maybe went wrong. If you're not getting any errors, then you're good to go, and what you have to do is just type in the https ://localhost column 500. The localhost is the IP address of your, you can either type localhost or you can put the IP address of your server. If you are in the server, you don't have to put the IP address, you can just put the localhost. And whenever you know the IP address, just remotely just put that new IP address. And of course, as soon as you do that, then it will ask you for username and password. And this is the default username and password, sysadmin and sadmin999x. And as soon as you do that, then you will be connected to the interface, the RCS interface. And of course, over here you will see that you are running version 2.900. Of course, you won't have that information. This is afterward. So you will have it as a basic RCS, so it doesn't have all the features, mainly just to configure the unit, and you'll have a basic statistics with it. And as soon as you do that, then you can do one more step, which is currently with your setup, or if you follow my steps, the last thing that I did is I have to run the script, or I have to run the command every time I have to access that RCS. There is another way around it, is by creating the RCS like some sort of a registry, like in Windows, and as soon as you boot up your system, then it will look for that registry and it will right away activate the RCS. So you have the option of do it via the boot, or you have to go every time and you have to run the command. If you want to do it via the boot, then in this case there is a couple of steps that you need to add, and you should be okay. And they are very simple actually. There's two files that you have to create, one of them called RCS kernel and the other one called RCS web app, and you have to put them under the etc/init.d folder. So what you have to do is you have to add this script into that file, which is the RCS kernel. The way I do it, I go to I usually use the command nano, so I put nano space RCS kernel, and then it will give me a blank screen. I will copy and paste that information, paste it over there, and then save it. And the same thing to do with the other file, which is the RCS web app. So nano space RCS web app, and then it will give me a blank screen. I will copy and paste this content and save it right away. You have to worry about one thing. So in my case, I'm using home/SUB10. In your case, it might be something else. So make sure that you change SUB10 to whatever name of the server that you specified. When you're done from these two files, creating these two files, you have to run the chmod permission to enable them to be used as any user. So in this case, it's chmod +X RCS kernel, and the same thing with RCS web app. When you're done from here, there is one more step and you're good to go. So the last step is to make a symbolic link, and in this case, think of it like an auto.exe patch file in Windows. So in this case, you will ask the system to look at this line or to this link while it's doing the boot up, and then it will look right away for the RCS kernel, and it will look for the RCS web app, and it will fetch that to file. And in this case, you're good to go. Just for this to take an effect, either you restart the service or you restart Ubuntu. So I prefer to restart Ubuntu for that service to be executed. In this case, you're completely done. So as soon as you rebooted Ubuntu, you can right away go to the browser and access the system. The other thing is, thanks to RepeatIt, they give us a free demo license key for us to use, or for the client to use, and it is valid until February 1st, 2014. It can handle up to 50 units demo license, and of course go to their website and you can just download the username. So the username is 50 units demo license, no support, and the license key, of course, the bottom side. Just add this username and password, or the customer ID and the key, into your system. It will become a professional, and in this case you will see the difference between the basic and the professional. And of course, in order to access or to put that information, so when you run the system again after rebooting the Ubuntu, you go to the browser, and under the main page you go to system settings, and almost in the middle it will ask you, so this is the license key location. So what you have to do is put the customer ID, license key, and at the bottom you will say apply, I believe, and then it won't take an effect right away. So it will say that it's been registered, or it's been part of the system. What you have to do is you have to restart RCS for it to take an effect. I don't know. It's very simple, straightforward. So I don't know if you guys have any questions. Let me see if you guys have any questions, and I can wait maybe for a couple of minutes if you have questions. Otherwise, you know, you have a good day. So just let me wait for a couple of maybe 15 seconds to see if you guys have any questions. Okay, I think no questions, so I hope everything is okay. It is, as I told you guys, it is straightforward, easy to set up, and if you have no more questions, then thank you again for attending this webinar. Please check our web support page, which is support.sub10systems.com, to register for the other webinar sessions. You will have a very nice day, and hopefully I can help you again with another webinar. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.